Oakland, California. Mid-1960s. A converted garage with no windows. Complete darkness, 5 men circle a sixth man in the center. All 5 are trained fighters. A former Golden Gloves boxer, a judoka, a karate practitioner, a wrestler, and a Wing Chun specialist. Between them, decades of martial arts experience. The man in the center? Bruce Lee. Blindfolded. For the next 15 minutes, these 5 advanced students will try to land a single clean strike. They can see barely. Faint light from a street lamp bleeds through cracks in the garage door. Enough to make out shapes. Enough to move, to aim, to attack. Bruce sees nothing. The blindfold ensures it. And here's what happens. They can't touch him. A few glancing contacts. Maybe a sleeve brushed. A shoulder grazed, but nothing clean. Nothing decisive. 5 trained fighters in near total darkness can't land a single meaningful strike on one blindfolded man. But the crazy part isn't that they missed. It's how he knew what was coming, and what that revealed about fighting, and about life. To understand how they ended up here, we need to rewind. Oakland, 1965. Bruce Lee's Junfan Gung Fu Institute, housed in a converted garage. Wednesday evening, advanced class. 8 students sit on the wooden floor watching Bruce demonstrate a trapping technique. Fighting is not about what you see. Bruce explains. It's about what you feel. Your eyes can deceive you. Your opponent can fake a movement, draw your attention one direction while attacking from another. But your body, if you train it properly, your body never lies. Robert, a former Golden Gloves boxer, speaks up. 28 years old, 7 years of competitive boxing, regional tournament champion. He respects Bruce's speed and precision. But this philosophy sounds like mystical nonsense. That sounds great in theory, Sifu, Robert says. But in a real fight, if you can't see your opponent, you're finished. Bruce stops mid-demonstration, looks at Robert. You think so? I know so. Vision is everything in fighting. That's why boxers study film. Watch their opponent's tells. You need to see the punch coming to defend it. Bruce nods slowly. Interesting. Anyone else agree with Robert? 3 other students raise their hands. All experienced fighters. Men who've spent years in tournaments and sparring matches. Men who trust their eyes. Okay, Bruce says quietly. Let me show you something. The tension in that room had been building for weeks. Bruce's teaching methods were unconventional. He criticized traditional forms, called them organized despair. He insisted real combat was fluid, spontaneous, based on feeling and reaction, rather than memorized patterns. Many students, especially those with traditional training, found this threatening. They'd spent years perfecting kata, learning sequences, believing in the systematic approach. Now Bruce was telling them it was insufficient. Robert was the most vocal skeptic. Feel your opponent? That sounded like something from a fortune cookie, not serious fighting instruction. But Bruce wasn't like other instructors. He encouraged questions, welcomed challenges. Test everything, he'd say. If it works, keep it. If it doesn't, throw it away. So when Robert voiced his skepticism, Bruce saw an opportunity, not to embarrass Robert, but to demonstrate a principle central to everything he taught. Robert, come here, Bruce says. Actually, Robert, James, Ted, Alan, and Doug, all 5 of you, come to the center. The 5 students stand. Bruce's most senior students. Robert the boxer, James with judo background, Ted from karate, Alan trained in wrestling, Doug studied Wing Chun before coming to Bruce. Here's what we're going to do, Bruce explains. I'm going to put on a blindfold. Then someone's going to turn off all the lights. This room has no windows. It'll be completely dark. You 5 are going to try to hit me. Not hard. This is training, not a street fight. But try to land clean strikes. I'm going to defend and counter, only using feel. The students exchange glances. Is he serious? Sifu, that's Robert starts. Impossible? Bruce finishes. That's what you think, yes? That without vision, a fighter is helpless? Let's test that belief. Bruce walks to his office area, returns with a black cloth, ties it around his head, covering his eyes completely. Check it, he tells Robert. Make sure I can't see. Robert examines the blindfold. Thick, opaque, no light getting through. You can't see anything? Nothing, Bruce confirms. And just to make absolutely sure, turn off the lights. Another student, Jesse, walks to the light switch, hesitates. Sifu, this is really... Turn them off. Jesse flips the switch. The garage goes black. Not dim black. The kind of darkness where you can't see your hand in front of your face. A few students gasp. The darkness is disorienting, almost physical. Everyone stay where you are. Bruce's voice comes from the darkness. Let your eyes adjust. In about 30 seconds, you'll see vague shapes from the streetlight coming through cracks in the door. Not much, but enough to see movement. I, however, will see nothing. The blindfold ensures that. They wait. Gradually, faint light, barely perceptible, seeps through gaps around the garage door. Not enough to see clearly, but enough to distinguish a human form moving. The 5 students can see each other as dark shapes against darkness. Bruce sees nothing at all. Okay, Bruce says, begin. Try to hit me, all 5 of you. For a moment, nobody moves. It feels wrong. Attacking a blindfolded man in darkness. But Bruce insisted. Robert moves first. He's a boxer. He knows how to move quietly. Create angles. He circles to Bruce's left side, feet sliding silently on the wooden floor. Gets within striking range. Throws a jab toward Bruce's shoulder. Not hard, a testing strike. Bruce's hand intercepts it. Not blocking, redirecting. His palm meets Robert's wrist, pushes it aside. Good try, Robert, Bruce says calmly. But I felt you shift your weight before you threw. Your body told me the punch was coming before your fist moved. Robert freezes. How did Bruce know it was him? 5 students in the room. Total darkness. How did Bruce identify him and counter his punch without seeing it? Now James moves, from Bruce's right side. He's a judoka trained to move in close. Grab, control. He reaches for Bruce's gi. Bruce sidesteps. James's hands close on empty air. Your breathing changed when you moved, James, Bruce explains. And I felt the air displacement when you reached. This is impossible. The other students think it, but don't say it. Ted tries next. Karate practitioner. He aims a controlled punch toward Bruce's midsection, deliberately telegraphing it to give Bruce a chance. Bruce intercepts it anyway, trapping Ted's extended arm. I felt the floor vibrate when you stepped forward, Ted. Through my feet. The wooden floor transmits movement. Now the students understand. This isn't a trick. This is real. Bruce has trained his other senses to a level they didn't know was possible. He's reading the environment like a book. Air movement, floor vibrations, breathing patterns, weight shifts. All the information sight usually drowns out. Bruce has learned to perceive. Alan and Doug attack simultaneously from different angles. Surely 2 attackers at once will overwhelm him. But Bruce pivots, redirects Alan's arm into Doug's path, causing them to collide. When you coordinate attacks, you create patterns, Bruce explains. I felt you both shift weight at the same moment. That told me you were coming together. For the next 15 minutes, the 5 students attack in various combinations, one at a time, in groups, all 5 rushing simultaneously. Every time, Bruce defends. He doesn't always counter. Sometimes he just evades, slipping away like smoke. They manage a few glancing contacts, a brushed sleeve here, a grazed shoulder there, but nothing clean, nothing that would matter in a real fight. They're not going full power. This is a demonstration, not a death match. But they're trying, genuinely testing him, and failing. Finally, Bruce calls a halt. Lights. Jesse, almost in a daze, turns the lights back on. The sudden brightness makes everyone blink. Bruce removes his blindfold. He's not even breathing hard. Meanwhile, the 5 students are sweating, frustrated, amazed. Robert stands there, his champion's confidence shaken. 7 years of boxing. Regional tournaments, countless sparring sessions, studying opponents on film, and in 15 minutes, Bruce just made him feel like a beginner again. Part of him wants to rationalize it away. But a bigger part, the part that made him a champion, knows he just witnessed something real, something he needs to understand. What you just experienced, Bruce says, is the difference between fighting with your eyes and fighting with your whole body. In a real confrontation, your opponent will try to deceive your vision, feints, misdirection, fighting in poor lighting or from blind angles. If you depend only on your eyes, you're vulnerable. But if you train your body to feel the attack before it arrives, to read intent through weight shift, through breathing, through air movement, then you're never blind. Robert shakes his head in disbelief. Sifu, I've boxed for 7 years. I've never experienced anything like that. Because you've never trained it. Bruce responds. In boxing, the ring is well lit. You face one opponent. You can see everything, so you never develop the need to fight without sight. But imagine a street fight at night. Multiple attackers. Poor visibility. If you can only fight what you see, you're already at a disadvantage. How do you train this? Ted asks. Sensitivity drills, Bruce explains. Chisao, sticky hands. You practice with a partner, maintaining constant contact, feeling their intention through touch. Gradually, you develop sensitivity to pressure, direction, force. Then you practice with eyes closed. Then in darkness, you train your body to read information your eyes usually handle. Doug, who studied Wing Chun, recognizes this. This is Chisao, advanced to another level. Exactly, Bruce confirms. Wing Chun teaches sensitivity through Chisao. I've taken that principle and expanded it, made it mobile, made it work without constant contact. Your body can feel an attack through air displacement alone if you train it. The demonstration doesn't end there. Bruce has everyone pair up. Practice simple drills with eyes closed. Just defending against slow-motion punches without sight. It's harder than it looks. Most students get hit immediately. Their hands go to the wrong place, misreading the direction. They realize how much they depend on vision, how underdeveloped their other senses are. This will take months of training, Bruce tells them. Maybe years to get truly sensitive. But once you develop it, fighting becomes different. You stop reacting to what you see and start responding to what you feel. It's faster because feeling doesn't require conscious processing. Your body responds before your brain fully registers the threat. This isn't magic, it's training. Over the following weeks, Bruce incorporates blindfold training into regular classes. Students hate it at first. It's frustrating, disorienting, makes them feel helpless. But gradually, some begin to develop sensitivity. They learn to read subtle cues. The whisper of cloth moving. The slight vibration of a foot planting. The change in air pressure when someone swings. Word of the blindfold demonstration spreads through the Oakland martial arts community. Some people think it's exaggerated, maybe even fake. So Bruce does it again and again, sometimes with different students, sometimes with visitors who come specifically to test him. The results are always the same. Bruce, blindfolded in darkness, defends through trained sensitivity, reading his opponents through feel rather than sight. Years later, when Bruce develops Jeet Kune Do fully, this principle becomes central. Be like water, he teaches. Water doesn't need eyes to find its path. It feels the shape of its container and conforms perfectly. A fighter should move the same way, responding to pressure, flowing around resistance, without conscious thought or visual dependence. The blindfold demonstration taught students something deeper than technique. It taught them that Bruce's philosophy wasn't abstract. It was practical, testable, real. When Bruce said, "Don't think, feel," he wasn't being mystical. He was describing an actual trained capacity. This changed how they approached training. Instead of just memorizing movements, they started exploring principles. Instead of collecting techniques, they started understanding the underlying mechanics of combat. Instead of training to look good, they trained to respond effectively in any condition, light or dark, clear vision or obscured, one opponent or many. Bruce didn't ask students to accept his word blindly. He proved his points through experience. Test everything, he always said. That Wednesday evening, he literally tested his own philosophy. Blindfolded, in darkness against 5 trained fighters. And the philosophy held. So here's the question. How much do you depend on one sense at the expense of others? Not just in fighting, in life. Your body already perceives more than your conscious mind registers. Someone's tone doesn't match their words. The energy in a room shifts before anyone speaks. You feel something's off before you can explain why. Bruce Lee's blindfold demonstration wasn't just about fighting in darkness. It was about developing complete awareness, training yourself to perceive what others miss. The question is, are you listening? If this story made you think differently about awareness and perception, hit that like button. Subscribe for more stories about training, philosophy, and what happens when you push human potential to its limits. And comment below. Have you ever felt something was wrong before you consciously understood why? When has your body known something before your mind caught up? Their faces show a mix of concentration and uncertainty. They can just barely see each other in the gloom. But they all know the man in the middle cannot see them at all. Their feet are placed cautiously on the wooden floor, toes gripping, bodies mid-motion in that exact split second before they all attack again. Background is mostly swallowed in darkness. Along the edges, faint silhouettes of other students sitting against the wall, watching quietly, knees pulled up, outlines of a wooden dummy and a hanging heavy bag barely visible. Overhead bulb creates a small pool of harsh light around Bruce and the circle, with everything else dropping off into shadow. High contrast black and white, natural fall-off, visible 35mm film grain, and slight softness, like a real archival photo discovered decades later, captured as a frozen moment of impossible challenge. 5 trained fighters circling one blindfolded Bruce Lee in a dim windowless garage, the split second before they move, and he proves that he can feel every attack without sight. No stylization, no posing, pure candid mid-60s Oakland martial arts underground realism.